Yesterday morning, the Truth Watchdog told us that the first suspected case of Ebola in Kenya had materialized. We even covered that story right here in the morning. But at the time, it was just a rumor because we weren't too sure about it. But by night time, same day, it was confirmed by the likes of Citizen TV. Just listening to this.
Raia mmoja wa Uturuki anayeonyesha dalili za ugonjwa Ebola bado amelazwa katika hospitali mmoja iliyoko katika eneo la barabara ya Kiambu akiwa chini ya uangalizi wa karibu wa madaktari. Leo hii taharuki ilitanda katika hospitali hiyo huku maafisa wakuu wa afya hospitalini humo wakifanya vikao vya dharura kujadili kisa hicho kinachoshukiwa kuwa cha Ebola. Polisi wanasema walifika hospitalini humo baada ya mgonjwa huyo kudaiwa kukosa ushirikiano na kupinga juhudi za kulazwa.
Now guess what, guys? The same Americans who brought Ebola into Kenya have officially issued a travel advisory against Kenya. Just have a look at this article and I quote. The header reads, US issues travel advisory for Kenya over protests against Ebola facility. Sisi wote si wajinga, tunajua the protest is not the issue. Because the protest was in Laikipia, not the entire Kenya. Anyway, on to the body. In an advisory dated June 1, 2026, the US Embassy in Nairobi cautioned that the protests in Laikipia could spread to other major towns including Nairobi in the coming days. The embassy noted that demonstrations in Kenya are often accompanied by a significant police presence, which could lead to traffic disruptions and heightened security concerns. I'm telling you, Ruto alichezwa. But anywho, in this video I want us to look into some of the reasons why the US has issued a travel advisory against Kenya. And so with no further ado, let's get after it. Number one, initially, the US believed that by setting up CDC facilities in Laikipia, that it was going to be used strictly for American citizens with Ebola. So all the way from Congo, the most advanced healthcare facility to deal with Ebola is now in Kenya. And that's why the Americans flew their sick leave from Congo all the way to Laikipia and Nanyuki for Medicare. But now other internationals who are also in Congo that have come in contact with Ebola and just so happen not to be American, where are they going? To Uganda? No. To Tanzania? No. They are coming to Kenya because they have heard that we are the ones with the CDC facilities. But what they are not getting is that it is in a military airbase. It is not in Nairobi. This Turkish guy that came to Kenya for healthcare, in his mind is believing that AAR Kiambu Road is able to deal with Ebola. It's not. And the question we must ask ourselves here is this. How long has this Turkish guy been in Kenya? Does he have a Kenyan girlfriend? Because that thing is spread through body fluids, including kissing. And this lady, does she have a child here in Kenya? Is she a single mother or a cheating wife? We don't know which of the two. Ameenda pia amepea wangapi? That is where the problem starts, and that is why they're issuing a travel advisory. There are so many foreigners in Congo who are there kuiba rasilimali yao. They have come in contact with Ebola, and the nearest country they can go to ile wamesikia iko na CDC facility ya dealing with Ebola is Kenya, and now we are suffering because of that. And the same Americans who brought this loophole are the same ones issuing a travel advisory. Wa America musiende Kenya, ati kuna maandamano. Which maandamano? It is Ebola that they are worried about. Now the second reason why Kenya has been issued with a travel advisory by the Americans is because of us not screening our border with Uganda. As at now, anybody can pass through the border the way they want. It's a very porous border. Kuwa tu na hongo unapita, hata ukikosa chochote unapita tu. Not my words, just listening to this fella.
Nimetoka Uganda saizi kukunywa moja ndio narudi Kenya. Sasa nasijapimwa, kwa hivyo inamaanisha hata baada ya kuambiwa kwamba kuna hili swala la Ebola, hakuna mwananchi yeyote ametilia mkazo. Na mkazo ingetokea pale ambapo tunaona zile taratibu zimewekwa na serikali kuhakikisha kwenye mpaka kila mtu anafanya nini?
Now the third reason why a travel advisory has been issued against Kenya is to prevent the loved ones of the affected Americans from jetting into the country to try and see them. But beyond that, it's because a travel advisory creates a path for an eventual travel ban. More so if we can't contain the disease in Laikipia. Hii ni ile mic check 1-2. Travel advisory, as we are monitoring how you are handling your own Ebola issues kwa border and amongst other nationals, if you are messing that one, travel ban. And it's so sad because even the Americans don't want this disease in the United States. They'd rather have it in Kenya. Just listening to Dr. Oz speaking at the White House press briefing room.
That they're going to be able to work out something with Kenya. There has already been a fair amount of communication around this issue. We have and that's about it. There's a UK base there. We have other people who might be willing to welcome us, and we have our German colleagues as well. So there's many places we can send folks, but sending them across the world, especially when we're not sure what's going on with them, is probably not the wisest move.
You heard that? Sending them across the world when we are not sure what's going on with them is not the wisest move. But sending them to Kenya is, mimi sitalaumu wazungu. Anyway, in life you can get an advantage, use it. But the one who is being used, you are the fool. And I'm glad the president owned up na akasema he's the one who agreed to allow the Americans with Ebola to come to Kenya. It is part of his broader cooperation with some nonsense tu ndo alisema hapo, but he's the one, he owned it. So it's a wrap. All these things we are seeing, the Turkish guy with Ebola, the subsequent Kenyan cases which zitakuja, they are pretending that there are 37 Kenyans in quarantine, but those are Kenyans who have been infected here locally. They are just masquerading as if these are Kenyans who came from Congo. No. It was Americans with Ebola who are coming to Kenya. These 37 Kenyans who are under quarantine for Ebola, you are tuelewi. But anyway, it's your date with the people, 2027, August 8th, not me. So do as you please. If you want to ruin the country, by all means, the floor is yours. But at the end of the day, guys, that's just my opinion. Do drop me your comments in the comment section below and I'll do best to read them and to give you a response. So with that, here today's ads of the day. If you're still managing rentals using notebooks and caretakers, see how Joel Karango Miner switched to a system that runs his 76 units automatically. Every month, caretakers traveled to his office with handwritten records. Balancing the math took hours. Payments never merged and tenants never got receipts. Then Joel switched to Bomahat, Kenya's award-winning property management software. Now payments update automatically, receipts go out via SMS, and every report is just one click away. He now runs all 76 units from his phone. No chaos, no confusion. Join hundreds of landlords doing the same. For more information, please call 0717-512-483 or visit www.bomahat.com. Interior design is one of those things you can't afford to get wrong. So if you're looking for experts to do your gypsum, wainscoting, paintwork, tiles, washrooms, and kitchen, reach out to Dhaka Living on 0706 026 218. That's 0706 026 218. And if you're here for the first time, please go on and hit the subscribe button. And if you're watching for a different platform, just head on over to YouTube, search for David Wafula. Hit the subscribe button, you're going to be getting a ton of content of this nature. If politics is something you're passionate about, this is definitely the one channel that you really need to subscribe to. Alright guys, adios. Thank you for choosing David Wafula as your primary news platform. We put countless hours in research, recording, and editing. By showing up each and every day to watch our videos, you encourage us to generate more videos for the viewers. We are on a mission to inform, educate, and build a better tomorrow. To our thousands of followers in a world full of presidents, kings, and queens, you are the real gem. Adios.